2 small children, gone without a trace. No witnesses, no sounds of struggle. Just a quiet Nova Scotia morning shattered by a discovery no parent should ever face. Lilly and Jack Sullivan, 6 and 4 years old, their laughter silenced in an instant. And at the center of the investigation, a name that would ignite national outrage, Daniel Martell. I'm Agent Tim, and this is where truth meets shadows. If you care about justice, about the real stories behind the headlines, then join me, because together we pull apart every layer until only the facts remain. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, tap that notification bell, and follow the channel. Here you'll get the full investigation, not the watered-down version. And when we take a case apart, we don't just tell a story, we uncover the truth.
On the morning of May 2nd, 2025, 2 small children vanished from a modest home on Gairloch Road. 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan, 4-year-old Jack. The world watched as searchers scoured woods, drones combed ravines, and police followed hundreds of tips. Weeks later, the question that will not leave this community's mouth is simple and devastating. What happened to Lilly and Jack? Within a house where 2 adults and a baby slept, 2 children disappeared in broad daylight. Their last confirmed public appearance was the day before. The RCMP mobilized major crime resources, hundreds of volunteers, and dozens of search teams. The family's stepfather, Daniel Martell, has cooperated with investigators and been interviewed, but as of the latest public updates, no charges for homicide have been laid, and no trace of Lilly or Jack has been found. Tonight, we examine the facts, the evidence, the community reaction, and the range of competing theories that have emerged. To understand how a sleepy morning became an international story, we walk the timeline step by step. May 1st, 2025, the day before. Public statements and police indicate Lilly and Jack were seen in public with family. Surveillance confirmed the children with family members. May 2nd, 2025, the morning of disappearance. According to the family's account to police, both parents, the mother, Malila Brooks Murray, and stepfather, Daniel Martell, were in the bedroom with their infant daughter. Lilly came in and out of the bedroom several times. Jack was heard in the kitchen. Around 10 a.m., the mother called 911 to report them missing. At 12:25 p.m., the RCMP issued a vulnerable missing persons advisory. Ground, canine, and aerial searches begin. May 3rd through May 7th, the search widens. RCMP, volunteers, drones, dog teams, and rescue units comb the surrounding forest and ravines, weather and rough terrain complicate efforts. Authorities emphasize following tips and preserving the integrity of the search area.
Mid-May through June, the investigation intensifies. The RCMP Major Crime Unit joins the case. Hundreds of hours of surveillance footage are collected. 54 formal interviews are conducted, some with polygraph testing. Investigators receive hundreds of tips and seize devices for analysis. By mid-June, the provincial government announced a reward of up to $150,000 for information of investigative value. Police cautioned the public the investigation could take longer than expected. Public reporting offers only a partial forensic picture, but authorities have been careful about releasing specifics. There is no public record establishing an abduction scene or confirming physical evidence of a crime. Early on, RCMP said they believed the children might have wandered off, but the Major Crime Unit's involvement signaled that investigators were considering all possible scenarios. In active cases like this, forensic evidence can mean GPS and cell phone records, surveillance video, DNA or trace evidence, footwear impressions, and ground search findings. Public updates confirmed that devices have been seized and authorizations granted for analysis, but no conclusive forensic finding has been shared. When two children vanished from a home where adults were present, investigators examined behavioral patterns, caretakers' timelines, witness statements, family dynamics, recent stressors. Polygraphs are sometimes used to narrow leads or corroborate timelines, though they are not definitive proof. From an investigative perspective, there are two broad possibilities: a wander-off or accidental scenario, and criminal interference. Young children are vulnerable to environmental hazards if they stray into dense woods or waterways, but disappearances with no trace raise concern about third-party involvement. So far, police have not publicly said which path the evidence supports. Public reportings named Daniel Martell as the children's stepfather. He and the children's mother have cooperated with investigators. Reports say he has been interviewed and took a polygraph. Martell has publicly maintained he is not a suspect and has said he helped search for the children. The authorities confirmed that many people have been interviewed in this methodical investigation. It is critical to remember, interviews, cooperation, or polygraphs do not equal guilt. As of the most recent updates, no one has been charged with homicide in this case. The story ignited national attention, coverage in major outlets, social media feeds flooded with pleas to find children, and a community bound by grief. At the same time, online forums filled with speculation. Police have urged the public to avoid rumor and focus on providing verifiable tips. Vigils mild. Community leaders called for calm. The prevention reward was offered to encourage anyone with credible knowledge to come forward.
From day one, competing theories have circulated. Theory 1, the children wandered off. This is considered because rural homes with nearby forest or water present genuine risks. Young children may follow curiosity or an animal and get lost. Searchers look for tracks, brush disturbances, or signs of a path and review surveillance for sightings. Theory 2, third-party abduction or interference. Disappearances without trace can suggest outside involvement. Investigators examine surveillance, phone records, and witness accounts for signs of strangers or suspicious vehicles. Theory 3, involvement by household members. Investigators must always examine the timeline and actions of those present when the children went missing. This is standard procedure, not an assumption of guilt. Investigators weigh theories by collecting and analyzing data: surveillance, digital footprints, witness accounts, forensics. The fact that police have not made a public determination means they're still evaluating where the evidence leads. In active missing child cases, public cooperation is vital. If you saw something, if you heard something, if you know something, call. For Lilly, for Jack, for a community waiting for answers. 2 children remain missing. The RCMP says this approach is intensive and methodical, collecting hundreds of hours of footage, conducting dozens of interviews, and following hundreds of tips. The province has offered a reward for information. That is where the public story stands today. If you saw something, if you heard something, if you know something, call. For Lilly, for Jack, for a community waiting for answers.
Let's pick up where we left off following the RCMP's search timeline and investigative breakthroughs. In mid-May, search efforts ramped up again. On May 17th and 18th, more than 100 volunteers from multiple rescue units and search organizations combed precise areas around Gairloch Road and the nearby pipeline trail. The lads credible clues in a heavily wooded and rugged area. And earlier blueprints discovered along the pipeline remained the only tangible trace possibly linked to the children. By June 1st, search teams expanded their reach. 78 trained searchers from 9 organizations grid searched a total of 8.5 square kilometers, including previously unsearched terrain. The pipeline trail remained the focal point due to that elusive blueprint. On June 2nd, the community gathered in Stellarton grew a candlelit vigil. Volunteers released balloons and held prayers outside the RCMP detachment, lighting the way home for Lilly and Jack. Police officials thanked the community for their tireless support. By June 11th, the RCMP confirmed its intensive approach with over 11 specialized units involved, including major crime, digital forensics, behavioral sciences, underwater recovery, and truth verification teams. Investigators had recorded hundreds of hours of video, conducted dozens of interviews, some including polygraph tests, and followed it up on hundreds of tips. Authorities emphasized that no path had been ruled out and nothing was being overlooked, but cautioned that conclusions would take time. As the weeks turned into months, the province announced a $150,000 reward for information of investigative value, a move designed to encourage the public to come forward with anything they might know. The RCMP reiterated the case remained active. Let's pause and reflect on with public. Lilly and Jack were last seen with family on May 1st, the day before their disappearance. Initial large-scale searches spanned over 5 square kilometers, then shifted to focus searches and specialized units. Only a single boot print has been acknowledged as physical evidence. The investigation has involved exhaustive reviews, interviews, and legal searches, all without leading to recovery. And while the RCMP says there is no definitive evidence of protection, they have not ruled it out. Several theories remain on the table. Some believe the children may have wandered off and fallen victim to the treacherous rural terrain. Others suspect possible stranger involvement, though no witnesses or signs of the struggle have been found. The possibility of someone close to them being involved has been considered, but no charges or accusations have been made. And still, despite all the technology, manpower, and effort, the truth remains hidden. This case is a stark reminder. Sometimes, even with every available tool, answers remain out of reach. Yet the RCMP continues to follow every lead. If you are traveling on or near Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd, and you have dashcam or surveillance footage, please come forward. Even the smallest detail could change the course of this investigation. Because somewhere out there, someone knows what happened to Lilly and Jack. And until the answers come, their story is not over.